Hello, welcome to UPSC PYQ Chronicles. This is the series on environment, and the topic of the day is environmental eutrophication, bioaccumulation, biomagnification, bioremediation. This single video will cover all the questions asked by UPSC in various examinations like CDS, NDA, Civil Service Examination, CISF, Geoscientist, EPFO, ED, CBI, etc. So let's get started. Which one of the following is not a feature of eutrophic lake? Blooms are frequent in eutrophic lakes. This is the correct statement. Plant nutrient flux is high. This is also a correct statement. Dominated by blue-green algae. This is also correct. But whereas primary productivity is low in the eutrophic lake is a wrong statement, because the primary productivity in eutrophic lake is high. The terms oligotrophic, mesotrophic, and eutrophic are associated with the evolution of lakes. The term biomagnification is referred to as the accumulation of increasing amount of non-degradable pollutants through food chain. If it's in a single organism, then it is not biomagnification, rather it is bioaccumulation. The process of using microbes to treat areas of land or sea that have been contaminated by pesticides, oils, or solvents is known as. This process is known as bioremediation. Which one among the following statement correctly defines the term biofortification? It is the breeding of crops to increase their nutrient values. That is the genetic engineering. The Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is constituted under the Environmental Protection Act of 1986. Which one of the following are the major contaminants from the industries and the households that causes the cultural eutrophication? It is the nitrates and the phosphates which causes the cultural eutrophication. Biological oxygen demand is a standard criteria for. BOD is a standard criteria for the pollution assay in aquatic ecosystem. Environmental impact assessment is aimed to help the resource conservation, because it will assess all the impacts of the project on the environment. NEPA stands for National Environmental Policy Act. Which one of the following processes takes place in lakes during eutrophication? It is the excessive entry of the nutrients into lake which causes the eutrophication. Bioremediation is a technology which is being exclusively utilized in controlling the heavy metal pollutants. Which one of the following is the most appropriate and the correct practice from the point of view of healthy environment? It is the treatment of the domestic sewage before its release. This is one of the correct practices from the point of view of healthy environment. Increased biological oxygen demand is an indication of low microbial contamination. No, this is the wrong statement. Absence of microbial pollution. No, this is also wrong, because whereas the high level of microbial contamination. Yes, this is the correct indication of increased biological oxygen demand. So only 3 becomes the correct statement. Why is there a concern about the copper smelting plants? They may release a lethal quantity of carbon monoxide into environment. This is wrong statement, because it is not the carbon monoxide, rather it is the carbon dioxide. The copper slag can cause the leaching of the same heavy metals into environment. Yes, this is correct. They may release sulfur dioxide as a pollutant. This is also correct. Hence, 2 and 3 becomes the correct answer. Which one of the following factors can decrease the biological oxygen demand BOD of a freshwater ecosystem? It is the low temperature and the low plant biomass accumulation which decreases the biological oxygen demand of any fresh ecosystem. Bioaccumulation is a process of progressive accumulation of a heavy metal and pesticide in an organism. This is correct statement. Large fishes of a pond are found to have higher contaminations of the pesticide than planktons of the same pond. This is also correct statement. And even this statement is the correct explanation of this. So both the statements are individually true, and the statement 2 is correct explanation of the statement 1. Consider the following statement. The Environmental Protection Act of 1986 empowers the Government of India to state the requirement of the public participation in the process of environmental protection and the procedure and the manner in which it is sought. No, this is wrong statement. Lays down the standards for the emission or the discharge of the environmental pollutants from various sources. This is the correct statement. So 2 only becomes the answer. Consider the following statement about bioremediation. It may be defined as any process that uses microorganisms or their enzymes to return the environmental altered by the contaminants to its original condition. Yes, this is a correct statement. Bioremediation may be employed in order to attack specific contaminants such as chlorinated pesticides that are degraded by bacteria. This is also correct. So statement both the statements are correct here. With reference to perfluoroalkyl and the polyfluoroalkyl substances that are used in making many cosmetic products, consider the following statement. The PFAS are found to be widespread in drinking water, food packing materials. Yes, this is the correct statement. PFAS are not easily degraded in the environment. This is also correct statement. Persistent exposure to PFAS can lead to bioaccumulation in the animal bodies. This is also a correct statement. So all the three statements are correct. There is concern over increase in harmful algae bloom in the sea waters of India. What could be the causative factors for this phenomena? Discharge of nutrients from the estuaries, runoff from the land during the monsoons, upwelling in the seas. These are all the reasons for this phenomena. So 1, 2 and 3 becomes the answer. So this is the same question which we have discussed here. Which one of the following are the functions of the environment? Supplying resources, this is the function of environment. Sustaining life, this is also function of environment. Providing aesthetic services, this is also a function of environment. So 1, 2 and 3 becomes the answer. Which one among the following is an environmental friendly activity? It is the usage of the biogas as a fuel is an environmental friendly activity. In the context of solving pollution problems, what are the advantages of bioremediation techniques? It is a technique for cleaning up pollution by enhancing the same biodegradable processes that occurs in the nature. This is the correct statement. Any contaminants with heavy metals such as the cadmium and the lead can be readily and completely treated by the bioremediation using microorganisms. This is wrong because it is not completely treated. Genetic engineering can be used to create microorganisms specifically designed for the bioremediation. This is also correct. So 1 and 3 becomes the answer. Consider the following statement. Agricultural soil releases nitrogen oxide into environment. This is the correct statement. Cattle releases ammonia into the environment. This is also correct answer. The poultry industry releases reactive nitrogen compounds into the environment. This is also correct. So 1, 2 and 3 becomes the answer. R2 codes of practices constitutes a tool available for promoting the adoption of it is the environmentally responsible practices in electronic recycling industry. So statement 1 becomes correct. Environmental pollutants have become global problem. This is a correct statement. A rapidly growing human pollution, rapid urbanization, intense agriculture and the industrialization together with human activities resulted in the environmental pollution. This is also correct statement. And statement 2 is the correct explanation of this. So both the statement 1 and 2 are individually true and the statement 2 is the correct explanation of the statement 1. Environmental considerations are not necessarily the same as or the congruent with ecological considerations. This is a correct statement. Environmental consideration addresses more towards the maintaining, whereas ecological consideration addresses more towards sustaining. This is also correct statement, and this is the exact explanation of the statement 1. So option A becomes the correct answer. Oil spills in tropical marine environment are less disastrous due to fast evaporation rate compared to the temperate environment. This is a wrong statement. Coastal vegetation is not affected by the oil pollution in tropical conditions. This is also wrong statement because coastal vegetation is affected. Hence neither 1 or 2 are correct. To minimize the food toxicity, which of the following preventive measures should be taken? Discard the use of chemical fertilizers in crop. Correct. Use organic manures in crop. This is also correct. Use biopesticides in the crop. This is also correct. So 1, 2 and 3 are the correct statement. Brominated flames retardants are used in many household products like mattresses and upholstery. Why is there some concern about this? Because they are highly resistant to degradation in the environment. This is also correct. They are able to accumulate in humans and animals. This is also correct. So both the statements are correct. There is some concern regarding the nanoparticles of some chemical elements that are used by the industry in the manufacturing of the various products. Why? They can accumulate in the environment and contaminate water and the soil. This is correct. They can enter food chain. This is also correct. They can trigger the production of the free radical. This is also correct. So 1, 2 and 3 are the correct answer. Alterations in both physiochemical, that is abiotic, and the biological, that is the biotic component of the biosphere by mankind resulted in environmental degradation world over. This is correct. Major environmental problems are in fact the manifestation of the degraded environment at the global level. This is also correct, but this is not the correct reason for the statement 1. So option B becomes the answer. Match the following. Oligotrophic lakes. This is a low nutrient concentration lakes are known as oligotrophic lakes. Dystrophic lakes. It is the low pH and humic acid content lakes which are known as dystrophic lakes. When it comes to meromystic lakes, it is the rich in salts and the permanently stratified lakes which are referred as meromystic lakes. Impoundments. Impoundments are created due to the concentration of dams. A pesticide which is chlorinated hydrocarbon is sprayed on food crops. The food chain is food crop, rat, snake, hawk. In this food chain, the highest concentration of the pesticide would accumulate in which one of the following? It is the hawk. Contribution of the manufacturing sector to environmental degradation primarily occurs during procurement and use of natural resources, yes. Industrial process and activities, yes. Product use and disposal, yes. So 1, 2 and 3 are correct. With this, we end all the questions asked on eutrophication, bioaccumulation, biomagnification and bioremediation by UPSC in various examinations. Thank you.